5. Barcelona 5, Elche 0. Nada. Elche were absolutely dog water today. Real Madrid fans, I'm gonna be completely honest. Long season ahead. This is gonna be one of the longest seasons of all time, because even if we are improved, even if we're gonna be good, Barcelona are gonna be right there. I'm telling you guys, this was an absolute demolition job by Barcelona and Hansi Flick. Because let's be honest, guys, the lineup is not the greatest in terms of what Hansi Flick can actually put up with a fully fit team, especially with Rodri, Pedri missing. You know, they don't really have a striker, and their whole defense would probably have been different. Maybe Eric Garcia, maybe Gerard Martin are starting, but you would expect Kubarsi to start, maybe Raphinha on the left, somebody else starting as a striker. You would expect maybe Balde if he was fully fit there, or even Joao Cancelo. There's so many possibilities that Barcelona have off the bench, and of course they still have Frenkie de Jong injured and Rodri injured. It's just like sad to see, you know. Real Madrid are struggling against Espanyol. 2-1, near victory in the last minute. Barcelona start of the game. Easy. 15 minutes in, penalty. Again, Elche absolutely dog water, trash cheeks. Because how are you losing the ball in that position? Such an easy pass for Fermin to Raphinha, and then Raphinha just does the most simple thing ever. Leave your foot there, and the Elche defender just swipes him out. For me, that's a penalty. Raphinha scores the penalty. I think you know, it's just fair. Like Barcelona were not doing the best things in the first 15 minutes, but they were definitely still better than Elche, because Elche's game plan, and this guy, whoever this guy is, he ain't ready for LaLiga, guys. Elche is gonna get relegated. I think genuinely Elche, if they play like this against any other team, not just Barcelona, they're gonna get relegated, because the things they did today, especially when they won the ball back from Barcelona, because we can just see it here. The first half, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, they had 349 passes. They were building up like they were some Avengers of football, and then they did absolutely nothing in almost every single chance. And when they finally had a chance, it was usually a guy from defense finishing that chance. That attackers have absolutely nothing in them. Huari, which is like 17 years old, this brother looks 17, and Nino, they oh my goodness. El Nino, bro, this is the second coming of Ferran Torres. Yeah, this is the second coming of Jesse Rodriguez, guys. This is probably the worst team I have seen so far in this La Liga season. Honestly, like, I'm not even, you know, putting Barcelona's performance down. Barcelona were absolutely sensational, but what is the game plan here? With a 3-5-2 formation, where you have the most width you can possibly have with the fullbacks and the midfielders as well. Like, what are we doing? And your defensive structure, I'm telling you guys, if Affengruber wasn't there, and, you know, Adeyemi and Gordon just got free reign, because this guy actually was pretty decent, and he was the only one that was actually decent on the ball as well. Other than that, of course, he was still absolutely getting smashed up by Adeyemi's pace. Like, their defense is, once again, I don't know what happened. Elche was a decent team last season. I know they changed coaching staff. I know, like, it can have an impact, but from last season to this season, Elche is just absolutely insane, honestly. Barcelona, nothing really too much to say, honestly, about the first half. I think they were just flawless, almost flawless, apart from, you know, a few chances. Raphinha had that penalty, which absolutely just killed Elche's mentality. From that point on, Barcelona started to have even more of the ball. And when they didn't have the ball, once again, Elche was just passing, give the ball away. Passing, give the ball away. The plan for Flick was pretty simple. Like, try to find Lamine Yamal or Adeyemi, and if it's not possible, press up, like we usually see it, high line. And if there is a chance, find Raphinha. Raphinha's probably gonna do something well, because Raphinha is just so versatile. And I've you know, kept saying this. Why are people disrespecting Raphinha? You know, he's a one-season merchant. He's a one-season wonder. Bro, like, what? Raphinha is a quality player. Like, I don't know where this, you know, disrespect comes to Raphinha, that, like, he's this one-season wonder guy. He has no technique. He has no ability. Bro, his finishing is second to none, honestly. Like, how he finds his position on the football pitch, especially as a striker, even as a left winger, he always finds himself in the right positions. Like, it's honestly insane. 1 assist, 2 goals, 1,000,000% the man of the match. Fermin Lopez, almost the same. I would genuinely say his like positioning and the ability to just find that option to have that, clear goal scoring chance, which they both had, 2 goals in this game. They were just sensational. Adeyemi's goal came from, just once again, it just, when you concede a goal in the 45th minute plus 3 minutes, you know the game is done. This was the second goal in the first half after Barcelona were cruising. Honestly, they were cruising through it. Like, I think the first half, Elche, if they scored some of their chances, because they did have chances. I remember Afan Gruber had that chance where there was a header. He was holding himself with like Eric Garcia. There were like a 1v1, and he had that chance. Just didn't really get that connection there. But other than that, like, guys, Elche was just, they were just subpar. And any shot that actually went on goal, just Juan Garcia saved it. I gotta say, one guy that absolutely surprised me in this game was Xavi Espart. Oh my god. This guy, I thought he was playing right back. Even the predicted lineup was saying that he was playing right back. Eric Garcia was going to start with Christensen as the center backs, and Gerard Martin was going to be the left back. Xavi Espart started as the left back. He was absolutely sensational. On the ball, off the ball, pace-wise, physicality, awareness, everything. Xavi Espart was sensational, and he got an assist as well. Like, this guy is absolutely crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, adeyemi was great as well as on the counter. He's so fast, so versatile in terms of, switching sides as well, which I like about him a lot. But one guy you are expecting the best game from probably had the worst performance, I would say, out of all of the players. Maybe apart from Gavi, but Gavi got injured, and Gavi's just fucking trash. Like, I'm over, sugarcoating these performances from Gavi. Any Barcelona fan that rates Gavi is just a nostalgia merchant, honestly. You just remember him scoring against Real Madrid and you think the player is still there. Gavi is not there. Now it's Ivag. E-V-A-G. Call him Ivag, bro, from this point on, because Gavi ain't there. I'm telling you guys. Every other player I could give props to. I could say about Bernal something, or Christensen, Gerard Martin defensively, Juan Garcia, great saves. Even Xavi Espart, really great, the attack. But Gavi and Lamine Yamal were definitely the worst 2 players, but Gavi fucking got injured. Lamine Yamal, I don't know, like, what's happening there. Maybe if he's not ready, like, I saw some people saying, why is he even playing the game? I was a little bit surprised, because is he really ready? If Pedri is on the bench and some of these guys like Olmo are still on the bench, why is Lamine Yamal starting? I know he's so important for Barcelona, but like, come on, it's Elche. It is still Elche. You could have probably started Gordon from the start. Gordon is, right there on the bench as well. Even though he played, the same amount of games as Lamine Yamal in the World Cup with the 3rd place game. Not really much to say, honestly, about the first half. Just Barcelona, just doing their thing. They were cruising. Second half comes in, and what happened to Barcelona in the second half? They got possessed by the Hansi Flick system. If a team is putting up no fight against Barcelona, they will absolutely kill you. And that is what Hansi Flick feeds upon. Even if the game is tough, the system can work, but the game will maybe finish 2-0, 2-1. The team will fight, maybe they will score. If you don't fight against this system, you're gonna get fucking cooked. And it doesn't matter if Lamine Yamal had a bad game, or, in the second half, we didn't really see too much from the right side. Bro, when Raphinha is there, and you're defending like this, you're leaving so much space in the middle, you're leaving so much space in behind, you're giving just so much time to Fermin Lopez on the ball, which he just will find that chance for himself and score those goals like he did in the second half, like Raphinha did in the second half as well, and they just completely finish you off. And, some of the goals, I know, like Gordon, when he came on, 2 assists as well, a sensational game from him off the bench. He gives it to, was it Fermin? I think he was. That chance is just so simple. Elche is so stupid in the fact that they didn't go back into defending a little bit more. They didn't sit back after conceding 4, 5. They just kept doing the same thing and expecting a different result. This Elche manager, I'm telling you guys, is just not ready to be playing against teams like even if Levante is playing this team. I'm telling you, Elche will have problems because they're leaving so much space in behind. And this is not a league to be leaving space. Most teams will be sitting back and hitting you on the counter. Elche, I think you need to look in. Second half, I have to talk about once again Fermin Lopez and Raphinha. Sensational in finding their options, in finding space, and when it comes to finishing, they were there, honestly. Adeyemi, he was still good in the second half. I think, he was getting tired. That's why he was subbed off in the 65th minute. He was just fading a little bit from the game. The same goes for Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine Yamal should have been subbed off in the first 45 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, he was absolutely trash. Other than that, I would say Pedri didn't really do much. He didn't really need to do much. Was okay on the ball. Dani Olmo, I would say that Dani Olmo actually had a bad game off the bench. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Some of the touches, I remember one he came on after like 2 minutes. He missed the touch, like such a bad first touch. And then Elche actually had a chance, but Elche just doesn't punish you, of course. They could have scored at least 2 goals, I would say, in the second half, because they just, I don't know what it is with Elche, bro. They have chances. Juan Garcia's right there. You have a player you could play it to. You just shoot. The decision is the decision making is just not there. But Olmo, questionable touches. I'm not gonna lie, questionable touches. Anthony Gordon, absolutely sensational. Too fast for the defense. And when you're leaving space in behind, Gordon's just gonna be there. The same was, for Adeyemi and Raphinha. It was, I don't know why Lamine Yamal didn't think to himself to just, be a little bit more relaxed and just wait for his chances. I think he was forcing it a lot, and they were forcing the ball to Lamine sometimes, which was just, useless against this defense, where they were leaving so much space for Adeyemi, and Adeyemi with his space, and Anthony Gordon once again getting 2 assists, and Adeyemi getting a goal. It just worked out so well for this flick system. João Cancelo and Jules Koundé, I'm not gonna speak too much on. 80 minutes in, we don't. I don't really care about their performance. I don't really remember Koundé doing anything too much. Cancelo, other than maybe 2 defensive contributions, and other than that, they didn't have much to do. Let's be honest. The game was already 5-0. Surprised to see Hamza not getting the chance, because some people were even expecting him to maybe start off or get, at least 30, 40 minutes. Maybe, that Adeyemi or Lamine Yamal substitution could have been Hamza, but he didn't get minutes. And he didn't need to get minutes because Barcelona scored 5 goals without a striker, guys. They didn't have Kubarsi, they didn't have Pedri, they didn't have a striker. They don't have their starting fullbacks from the last 2 seasons. And they still beat Elche 5-0. Absolutely sensational from the midfielders, Bernal and Fermin Lopez. Underwhelming game from Lamine Yamal, but other than that, the whole team deserves praise, especially Raphinha playing as a striker. Yeah, fair enough to the Barca dogs. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to see what this season brings, because it's definitely not going to be easy for Jose Mourinho. 5-0 Barcelona against Elche. What a game, honestly. Sensational performance. Unfortunately, Real Madrid only went 2-1. Let's see the next game, and thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, comment your thoughts on the game, comment your thoughts on who your MVP was, even though I think it's unanimously gonna be Raphinha. And please, please, subscribe. I will see you in the next video.